few are presented with an opportunity to seize greatness. In beautiful Southern California, the PGF Championships introduce that opportunity of a lifetime. It's North America's best of the best. It's a celebration of the sport, and a champion is crowned now. Championship is coming back to Woodstock, Georgia. The Georgia Impact are the PGF 16U Premier Division National Champs. It is a spectacular day in Southern California. Heading up the Huntington Beach Pier, then up the steps into this beautiful ballpark in Irvine, California. This is Deanna Manning Stadium, and this is the 16U Premier Girls Fastpitch Premier Division National Championship game. Out of the heart of the Midwest in Kansas City, it's Select Fastpitch. Coaches Salazar and McCoy, and out of Northern California and into the Fresno area, it is the Sorcerers. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist, national champion at UCLA. My name's Darren Sutton, and we're really glad that you're with us. We saw it last year, the team from Georgia victorious. Again, we see NorCal. We see, of course, the Midwest represented. This is a true national event. It has really evolved, and there are college coaches all down there watching.
There's a lot of good energy in this stadium today, and if you think about the journey that these two teams have been on throughout this entire season, through this PGF tournament to get to today, this is where they ultimately wanted to be. They've made it. These are young, talented athletes, and they know how to bring it.
Yeah, heading into the age of recruitment, it's fun to see them play, certainly, and we'll introduce you to the coaches, to the players. That's the best part of all this, is understanding who these athletes are. For Select Fastpitch, based in Kansas City, Shawnee, Kansas as well. Audrey Young, Youngblood is at the very top. Marin Heller. Bailey Amezcua is next. Kelsey Hoekstra. Kendall Yarnell. It's Washington, McCoy, Salazar, and Lang in the circle. Karime Karatachea takes the assignment to go to work. This talented pitcher. Again, we'll introduce them all, but let's celebrate the sport at the 16U age group. Sun coming up, morning softball. You wouldn't know it by the sound of the parents and the fans as the first pitch swinging. There's a high fly to center field where Olivia Holt says, "I got it," and she does. And we're underway. Morning energy, Freed.
I know. I love playing in the morning.
Did you like it?
Yeah, get up, get going, get that first light of the day. The weather is gorgeous right now.
Marin Heller is the shortstop. Lagging that bat with the slightly open stance. Allen splits the play to the athlete out of West Des Moines, Valley High School. Anticipating September 1st, in her words, to be an absolute adrenaline rush. Can't wait to experience the recruiting. It opens up for her in about a month. Pulled the string back, good pitch, had her leaking out front. Defensively working behind, Modest, Holtz, Babasa, Banks, Roberts, Garcia, Galley on the infield. Mia Pamplona is behind the plate. Karatachea, her battery mate in the circle. That defense plays maybe a step or two the other way in the outfield. It's straight up on the infield, and it's hit right into that defense. Better hurry. Off balance throw, but she made it accurately. That's Jasmine Roberts, the shortstop, 2 outs.
So far, some really nice defense. Roberts fields this cleanly, and then off her leg, throws a strong strike over to first base. And I keep having to remind myself, this is still just a 16U level. I mean, these athletes are still pretty young in their careers, but man, they're playing like they're ready to go off to college next year.
Bailey Amezcua, back of the box. And she takes a look at a screwball that dives low and inside. Bailey's from Greenwood, Missouri. Can catch, plays behind the plate. She's catching today. Lee's Summit West High School. She's heading into her senior year. This is a Kansas commit. the plate, the daughter of Beth and Joe. And the big sis to JoJo, who's 15 years old. Mom played softball for a long time growing up in California. Said her mom Beth again, is really the reason she plays this sport. She gives her so much credit. Just off the plate, being stubborn, 3-0 the count. And for Amezcua, good patience.
Yeah, and for Karatachea, she has pinpoint accuracy and a really wicked changeup. So, you know, a lot of times at the beginning of the game, you're really trying to find that umpire strike zone and see what you can get called. And right now, not missing by much.
Screwball missed in. You said it, kind of feeling for that light switch in the dark right now. Where is that zone? Where can I go? These are intentioned athletes at this point. They played so much high-level softball, including this week. Select sends Taylor Borovac out there to run. She will courtesy run for the catcher, Amezcua. Kelsey Hoekstra now.
Courtesy runner for the catcher.
From Overland Park, Kansas, Hoekstra. Shawnee Mission North, where she's heading into her senior year. Still deciding where she wants to play college softball. Left-handed bat, screwball, runner on the move. Beautiful throw in time. Pamplona put it right on top of the bag. Roberts popped the tag down. Got some defense to create some momentum from her knees. Oh, baby, PGF. What a beautiful perspective here at Deanna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park. Sorcerers out of Northern California. Select Fastpitch out of the Midwest. Olivia Holtz, Madison Babasa, Roberts, Pamplona, Banks. What a great throw by Mia. Volante, Garcia, Gali, Marea. As we take you on down the starting lineups, allow us to introduce you to Peyton Hardenberger in the circle. She's from Wamego, Kansas. She's a 2025, so a couple of years of high school left for her, deciding where she wants to play and pitch. She's the daughter of Miranda and Travis, and it's just the three of them. She's an only child. As that one is served back to the screen, Lydia Holtz leading things off. This athlete, a team leader as she gets comfortable in the circle, dealing with this tough hitter in Holtz. At her high school, she's the class president. She's on the student athlete board. She's a peer counselor. This is a well-rounded, recruitable player because of all that. And she can pitch.
Yeah, she pitches with a lot of power and spin is what her coaches say, and she's got a really effective changeup. So it'll be interesting to see the way that these pitchers approach these tough hitters, if they kind of redefine inning to inning and change their game plan.
Olivia Holtz from Stockton, California. Anchoring center field at Lincoln High School, and here for this Trower team as well. Pulled the string, frozen, that's strike 3.
And we were just talking about that changeup and how effective she is when she uses it. Look at that backspin, and it dips down into the zone, just freezes Holtz.
Madison Babasa.
From Escalon, California. Next up, Madison Babasa. Talented enough to play anywhere in the outfield, can also handle the middle infield as she slaps that one foul, the left-handed bat. Escalon High School plays for head coach Caitlin Brooks. She's a 2026. Her dream schools, let's start with Oregon. Let's add Texas, Washington, and LSU, some places she'd love to play. And by the way, Division I softball is really represented here in the ballpark today. I'm going to leave some out, but Texas A&M, Central Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. Help me out, who am I missing?
Santa Barbara.
Minnesota.
This is fun. Well, this is that age group too, Florida State. I see that a lot of these athletes are waiting for phone calls. So you want to be represented if you're a college coach. You want to be seen.
Popped up left side, long run from the shortstop. Coming on in as well, the left fielder Salazar. We just saw Heller and Salazar racing together. The rest are Lang, Youngblood in the outfield. Yarnell is at third, McCoy, Hoekstra is at first. Amezqua's behind the plate, and her battery mate, Peyton Hardenberger. Straightens her up, backs her out of there. Babasa, her mom is Maria, her dad is Michael. And she's the baby, so I bet they're very proud of her. She's got 4 older siblings. She's got a whole bunch of sisters in the dugout as well. Pesky. This is a good tennis player, plays basketball as well competitively, has played as a defender, volleyball. An old libero position, that's no fun. It's like being a catcher with a pitcher that's wild, throwing 100. 2-2 the count. Not interested.
Yeah, really great discipline. And her coaches say of Madison, she's got a really high softball IQ. She's great under pressure, which is exactly the type of athlete you want up in this situation. Having a nice long quality at bat for her teammates in the dugout to see.
Kevin Gann, the head coach of this team, as that one is popped foul. When we asked Madison to describe herself, she said, I'm a 26, so I'm interested and excited. Speed and power kid. She said, although my size might not show it, I'm regarded as an excellent hitter who hits for power to all parts of the field, but I can also bunt and slap if my coach asks me to.
That's a dangerous combination.
Sparkle in the cross on her face as she lifts that one toward left center field. Easing over is Janelle Lang, 2 outs in the inning. So far, both sides making pitchers throw strikes. I mean, grinding at bats thus far. Which I always marvel at, and I've told you this, because when you get to a championship game, to me, you be jumpy, be anxious, want to make a difference right away. Patience as a hitter, to me, is exceptional in these games.
Oh, I completely agree. You want to finish it all in one swing, but you can. And these athletes have had all week to work on it, but there is something different about being on this stage in this game today. That first game of the championships for the 16 Premier. We'll see 18s and on today, but there's a lot on this game.
Big hat right back to the screen. Jazz Marie Roberts makes her home in Modesto, California. This talented shortstop from Central Catholic High School in Modesto is eyeing Texas, Oregon, and Washington. And of course, as a 25, recruiting opens for her September 1st. Good take on a changeup. She said about it, she said it's really scary and intimidating at times. I've tried to stay mentally and physically tough. My family's helped me throughout the whole process, and I'm now very excited to live through September 1st with them. Once in a lifetime, she said. Right up on top of that plate. What does that tell you when a hitter is toes right there in the chalk and leaning over?
You know, I was just having this discussion yesterday with some good friends who happen to be umpires, and I was telling them the challenges of being a pitcher when you've got a hitter who's that confident, toes on the line, over the plate. It really limits you in the circle or makes you be perfect, especially on that inside.
They wanted it in, it was out over the plate, and it sneaks right on by. Alyssa McCoy unable to make the play. McCoy, I think, will tell you, kind of let that ball play her instead of playing it aggressively, and it ate her up.
A little bit of that open stride. Look at that back toe, though, right on the line. The feet.
Now batting, catcher, number 18, Mia.
That stride opens up slightly towards third. That allows the hands to get through that pitch. Maybe not as inside as Hardenberger wanted it to be, but it worked for Roberts.
Mia Jean Pamplona. What a beautiful throw from her knees to end the last half. How about this? That's my teammate. I want to be teammates with her.
And then she laughs it off after. Those first innings are tough. I mean, you talk about the anxious feelings coming into the game, and we've experienced how many times teams come out with those feelings and you end up falling behind. And you don't want to give anything up in that first inning. You want it to be clean. So it was a great job of just eliminating that base runner and getting the team in the dugout.
Her teammates call her Panda. She is from Stockton Lincoln High School. She can also play corner infield as well. Elevated, throw down, and anything you can do, I can do just as well, says McCoy. With her fellow catcher standing right next to her, and the help of Hardenberger in the circle, the catcher is flexing. Somebody's had their coffee and a well-rounded breakfast this morning. Hello, beautiful Southern California. We welcome you back to the Premier Girls Fastpitch 16U Premier Championship. Karime Karatachea in the circle. It wasn't too long ago when she was that age taking in softball. Now, despite not sprouting as much as she'd like, she embraces the fact that she pitches effectively at 5 feet tall, and she gets into talking how she has learned. As she goes to work, rocket shot, but foul ball off the bat of Kelsey Hoekstra.
I love that she's out there talking about it because it is a thing, and it's something that I think has been talked about throughout our softball community, that pitchers can not be a certain height and be effective, or have to be, you know, taller than a certain height to be able to throw well, and that's just not the case. And we've seen it up and down the college stages. Some really, really great throwing high-level pitchers who are around that 5-foot mark.
She says, and I quote, these are her words, "The greatest challenge I've had to overcome is my height. With my height comes shorter legs and smaller hands. I've had to learn how to produce power from my legs and create spin with my shorter fingers. But over the years, I've learned more about my body. I've learned how to battle against it and against the best hitting teams in the country." She nibbles on that outside corner. Going 55 to 60, curve, rise, screw, changeup that you talked about. Also throws a knuckleball. Changeup definitely her strongest pitch. As she works against Hoekstra. That one is rolled foul. It's 2024. Has accomplished so much. Duke in her future. Jason Salazar, Mike Byrne, the coaches of the select fast pitch team. There's the changeup, has it leaking out front. It hangs up long enough for Olivia Holtz to run it down. So Hoekstra is out number 1.
Now batting, third baseman, number 77, Kendall Yarnell.
Kendall Yarnell, or Dolly, as her mates call her. From Malathi, Kansas, Northwest High School. University of Central Florida commit, their coaching staff represented down below. That's a changeup in there for strike 1. Yarnell, the daughter of Lucas and Kelly, and the big sis to younger brother Zach. Dad played college football at Lafayette in Louisiana. Played professionally arena football for quite some time too. Dad got to act. If you remember the redo of the movie Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, Dad got to be in that movie as a football player.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that movie.
And then her mom was a D1 softball player at McNeese, her mom Kelly. I always think I'm a cool parent until I hear about all these parents. Then I don't feel
love
so
hearing about what the parents did in college, their careers. I think that's the most fun part about this job.
Well, you're a cool parent. I mean, let's be honest. Olympic gold medalist, national champ, really cool mom. presence in the industry. I'd brag on you.
Oh, thanks.
I'd brag on you.
I wish my kids would.
No, that's why they're the kids. 0-2 the count. And we tried to shorten an interview yesterday. Coach Wiggins, he wanted to make sure he got asked a question by you. Didn't much care about me for the Atlanta Vipers. Hot shot, foul ball.
I was actually flattered. We were going to let him off the hook.
So he
called me out.
To give you a quick background as quickly as we can, he was calling pitches, so we were concerned we'd be disrespecting the fact that he's sending out signs to his catcher. He can't really talk and do that at the same time, so I just kind of motioned, hey, let's just keep this short. I said, thank you, Coach. We'll let you go call pitches. And he said, hi, Amanda. All right, well, you guys had to talk and connect at that point. But then he wouldn't give his secrets away.
No, I don't blame him.
Elevated rise ball, and it's a high fly to left field. When you think about you're down and soft, knees and below with that changeup, and confidently going chest and up with the rise ball, just changing line of sight. I don't care if you're 6'1" or 5 feet tall, that works.
Well, and pitching is pitching, and no matter what height you are, and of course there's some challenges when you're a little shorter, you're missing out on some of that leg drive leverage, the bigger fingers, as she talked about, but you still got to hit spots. You got to make the ball move. You got to, change eye level, mix speeds.
Haley Washington takes strike one. Kay Wash is from Topeka, Kansas, and is a Kansas commit. Her high school coach at Santa Fe Trail is Brenda Dahl. Coach Dahl's been a big part of her development. Good take, 1-1 to count. The daughter of Cindy and Brandon.
Okay, well, I said one kick. Here you go, buddy.
Excellent student. I'm sure Kansas and their staff had an easy time recruiting and finding a spot for a 4.5 GPA softball player. Surrounded at short. Good strong arm across the diamond by Jasmine Roberts over to Elisa Galli. Karime Karatachea in the circle, working with Pamplona here at the 16U Premier National Title game. Let's move into the bottom half of the second inning. Always such a family affair right here in beautiful Irvine, nestled in the bedroom community is this gorgeous stadium that will host so much over a 2-week span, changing softball at the amateur level since 2010. Premier Girls Fastpitch. Right back to work, Hardenberger for select Fastpitch. The Sorcerer's Pamplona gets another chance to hit. Daughter of Diana and Marlon. Got to experience on September 1st the entire recruiting process. That changeup is high. She'd love to go to the University of Hawaii at Manoa. That's it. That's what she lists as her dream college.
Sometimes you just got to speak it into existence, right?
Yes.
And coaches want athletes that want to be in their program.
Really good catcher. We've seen that pop time really strong earlier. A throw out of an opposing runner. Pop time about 1.8. Power hitter. And she says her power plays to all sides of the field. Oh, a really tough pitch to take there. Goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been as disciplined with 2 strikes on this pitch because you just never know. That does look like it's a half ball off the plate, but you just don't want to put that in the hands of the umpire.
McCoy did a great job, though. Very quietly, the body was still as she showed that pitch. Now comes inside. Screwball spin on the last 2 pitches. One of them starts off the plate, nearly hits the outside corner. The other one splits the plate and runs in on the hands. Looked like Pamplona was anticipating a pitch in. Fresno and Stockton and Modesto. Beautiful valley of Central and Northern California. That's the Sorcerers. That's their roster. Back up out of play. This will be a minimum 7-pitch at bat at this point. The Georgia Impact from Woodstock, Georgia won this event last year. They beat the Beverly Bandits, Midwestern-based team on the south side of Chicago. Such a great national event. That shows up right down the middle.
And you knew at some point that pitch was going to be coming, and this was the perfect time. It's such a nice speed because it's not too slow where the hitter can reset. You could see just Pamplona's little hitch in her hands. Gives up her body, and she's just not able to pull the trigger. A couple of looking strikeouts on her changeup so far.
From Cooperopolis, California. First swing coming up empty, Riley Banks from Bret Hart Union High School. Live shot up above. Beautiful drone view of Bill Barber Park. Banks with a take up. A 2025 that has her eyes on Cal and UC San Diego, a couple of programs she'd like to play with. Talked about the recruiting, saying, I hope September 1st is filled with calls and emails. That's my hope. As she takes a screwball in. It's funny how things work, whether you contribute a ton, your teammates, or it's a collective effort. Rising tide, says the older man in me, lifts all boats, that old saying. But no matter who you are on this team, you get to play in front of these coaches today.
Absolutely, and a lot of athletes are discovered and seen because of those that they're playing around and with. So it's a great opportunity.
2-2 the count. You get to show your skills, and obviously this is a 5-hole hitter who's been an impactful player the entire event, but you may get one at bat late that catches an eye of a coach where it seems to be the right fit. Let me take another look. Do it again. This has become such a wonderful stage for the sport, such a great production. We're certainly proud of the role we're able to play every year on the content side. But nothing is missed in these 2 weeks. Hit on the line, that will roll all the way to the wall. With all those great coaches looking on, there's a couple of bags on a pretty swing by Riley Banks.
This is a really nice at bat. Not even a stride with that front leg, just gets hand to ball, and such a nice compact swing when you've got a pitcher like Hardenberger throwing the way she is. You just want to square that barrel up. It's exactly what Riley Banks does and gets herself a double.
JC Vellante from Oakdale, California, Oakdale High School. For 2025. She saw that one well. That's a tough pitch to do anything with. Right back to the backstop. JC the DP in this one. Can play in the outfield if needed, also a second baseman, and we'll have a quick gathering around Hardenberger with all of her infield. Coaching staff again for Select Fast Pitch, Jason Salazar and Mike Byrne. Rich McCoy also part of that staff as well.
And I like that quick conference to reset. See so many times that big hit's given up and then immediately another follows, and before you know it, you're down a run. So just checking his pitcher, his catcher, making sure everybody's on the same page so she can get right back to work.
She's got a couple of quick strikes on the attack. Velante's mom, Shelby, is a professional dancer traveling the globe for her job. said in her words, my mom has been able to dance in many unique places with many celebrities. I'm very proud of her career. Again, not a boring parent.
Not a boring parent.
Her dad is Luke. Emma is her little sister. Levi, her little brother. They're 15 and 11. Loads that back leg with the open stance. It's the outside corner. Started it maybe a softball off with a little bit of spin. It grabbed the corner.
Yeah, this is a money pitch for Hardenberger. This is just perfectly placed outside. And we talked about those borderline pitches and not putting it in the hands of the umpire. Don't try to be that umpire on that pitch. Foul it off, get rid of it, get something you like, but it's a great two-strike pitch.
Maya Garcia takes it with her up the line. Hustling, easy bunt base hit. Maya from Stockton, California, the pride of St. Mary's High School.
This is perfect execution. Bring in that bunt with her. Nothing you can do, caught off guard. Hoekstra, all she can do is field that ball, but doesn't even have anybody to toss it to. Even if she did, I don't know that she would have had that out.
From Tracy, California, Elisa Galley now with an opportunity. She would love to go to Oregon this 2025. That's a wicked cut. Right back to the screen. She thinks the world of her grandparents. She's been raised by her grandparents, Frank and Susan Galley. I look up to them so much. They do anything for me. They've sacrificed so much for me to play this sport. Trying to run themselves into a run, and they do so. The goal was to create exactly what happened, some havoc. Sorcerer strike.
Practice first and third situations, but when it comes down to it, everything's got to go right. Good base running. Holding sees the ball in the dirt for the first run of the game.
Goes up and gets that one on 0-2. Stubborn on that pitch. It keeps looking good.
Had the throw been on the money, that would have been an out. Looks like Garcia was going to try to bait a run down, but she was so close to that throw. I think it would have been a catch and tag. I don't think that run would have scored.
Fly ball, left center field, hangs up for a long time, but this time it's the shortstop Heller. Leaks back onto that outfield grass. You want to run, go take it. Just steal it. And that's exactly what happened for the Sorcerers. 16U Premier Championship game. Beautiful, beautiful day in Southern California. Bill Barber Park, Deanna Manning Stadium. Premier Girls Fastpitch, 16U National Championship from border to border. All around North America, Hawaiian teams have made their way in for this set of championships. Canadian teams down to the south of Florida, up to Maine. It's just been a wonderful week. Coaching staff for South Carolina just made their way in. I'm telling you, this is a coaching convention. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, thanks for hanging out with us. 1-0 the score. Central California-based Sorcerers Gann on a double steal, a miscue in the middle of it all. Grab a run. Alyssa McCoy, Olathe, Kansas, Olathe West High School. Ball gets a swing and a miss. Daughter of Rich and Danielle. And her dad, part of the coaching staff, the leadership. But Dad was a rugby player at Kansas. Screwball at Dandy. 1-2 the count. don't know about you, Freed. That's one sport I don't think I could play, rugby.
Well, I don't think I could either. I would have loved like a flag football, but rugby's just not that popular out here. Not yet. I'm sure it'll make a coming.
1 and 2 the count. I wouldn't mind broadcasting it someday. Would you join me in that effort?
Oh, yeah.
Would you? Okay.
I mean, that sport is aggressive. I mean, you've got to be a certain type of person to want to be out there and take the hits that they do. And a very athletic sport.
Number 99 shows that jersey. And she coils, gets it down off the end of the bat, pops it up to the shortstop, Jasmine Roberts. Really wrapped before she uncoiled to take that swing. Got it down off the end of the bat, though.
Now batting, left fielder, number 2, Gabby Salazar.
Gabby Salazar. Kansas City, Kansas. And a commit to go to the Nebraska at Omaha. Going to Nebraska at Omaha. This 2024, heading into her senior year. Good take on the screwball in. I'm wondering what goes on with her that her nickname is Chit Chat.
Not an introvert?
No. Hold the string back. A 1-1 to count. Chit Chat's mom is Susie, dad is Jason. She's got twin older sisters and 2 younger siblings. Did she offer at that one?
We should go.
Did not go.
Ooh, good hold.
The 2-1. 2-2 the count. Boy, pitching is an art for Karatachea, isn't it?
Well, and she's having these hitters second guess themselves, it looks like, with her spin. She's got a couple of different types of speed. But look at the direction of this pitch. It's almost like a backwards, inside out, rising screwball.
And she changes speeds like it's nobody's business. Not afraid to bust in to make hitters aware with the screwball, then just stays out.
Now batting, center field.
Yeah, she's making it real
number
tough
31,
right now.
Janelle Lang.
You're looking at like 6 different stages of velocity. It's not just hard and soft. It's not dramatic. I mean, there's a slower than slow. There's, she pulled the string back on that one. Got an in-between swing that time. Unless it's a ground ball out. Janelle Lang out of DeSoto, Kansas. Just a dominating inning. As a matter of fact, has 6 in a row sat down. She's faced the minimum thus far. Karatachea dominating. Family affair, youngsters, future Diamond Corps players. I see a football snuck in there. How to be young again and to twist and turn like a pretzel while you're having fun at the park. Olivia Mattis, the number 9 hole hitter and the left fielder, leads things off against Peyton Hardenberger. Back to the screen. Doing little things well, making a big difference.
And the Sorcerer coming up with that huge hit into the gap to get the runner on base, and then a nice bunt, pulling it with her to get that base hit. And then a little chaos on the base paths, drawing the throw. And that ends up scoring Riley Banks from third base. So that's how the Sorcerers got their first and only run.
Good take on a screwball that dives down and away to the other batter's box. Liv is from Reno, Nevada. DeMonte High School. She's a 2025. Would love to play at Nevada or San Diego State. Or in the Mountain West at Utah State. said this summer I've been busy. I've been emailing coaches about my tournament schedules, updating progress. I post highlights after every tournament on Twitter and Instagram, and I tag the coaches where I want to go.
I mean, these athletes put in a lot of work during the recruiting process.
Soon enough, they'll be on LinkedIn working on their careers, obviously, but that's what they're doing at a younger age. That's resume building. It's incredible, and you have to be vigilant.
You really do, or else you get, looked over and lost.
Stephen and Joey, her parents, I'm sure they've set a really good example as she gets after it. Sophia, her older sister, who is 18. 6 pitch at bat thus far. Pitch number 7 is coming.
I'm excited to see Mata's run. She's got a ton of speed, and coaches say her on-base percentage is just crazy high.
Got her to go chase. And when you want to put it on the ground, that's exactly where you want to hit her committed. Popped up to the left side.
Nice job, Candy!
Number 99, Olivia Holtz.
Number 99, Olivia Holtz.
Look how they tighten up on the slapper on the corners. See what a hitter like Holtz deals with. Sis plays at UC Davis. Sister Isabella. Said I've learned a lot from my sister about the recruiting process, her experiences playing college softball. All it's done for me is not scare me, she said, but made me want it more. It makes it so much more exciting to see it through her eyes. 19-year-old Isabella playing at UC Davis. Pitcher's pitch. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Holtz also played basketball her freshman year. Said loved the experience, had never played it before. Opened up different movements athletically for me. Goes right back outside. A little further out on a screwball.
That's a great spot for that 2-strike pitch. Try to feed it right to the left side. Third base is pulled in. Heller at shortstop is pinched in and in the hole.
Two outs in the inning. 4 strikeouts now. Just blew her away.
This was just a powerful pitch. Same spot, just a little more on the corner.
Right fielder, number 9, Madison Babasa.
Babasa takes a changeup that sails high. Unique cheer in the dugout a moment ago.
Some barking.
I did hear that. I heard that. Babasa, a great student, high honor roll. President's Academic Award, 4.0 GPA. Just enough spin to hit the outside corner. Of these at this age right now, 16 years old, talking about 15 and 16, understanding the mental side. And Babasa, the same as Holtz, they both mentioned, as that one is fouled off, one of their bigger challenges, and it may be a team mantra that's shared a lot, that this sport is 90% mental, and I think the hardest part as a lot of these players age and stay at elite levels is they're failing more. And dealing with failure, a lot of them sharing, that's been hard for me, and I'm learning, but it's not easy.
Yeah, as you get better, you face better competition, and then your failure rate will naturally get higher.
With pitches like that, a rise ball, boy, with a little bit of emphasis. Peyton made a statement this inning. Wow. Struck out 2 of 3, electric. Think you got what it takes? Go ahead and grab a bat. Southern California vibes being felt as the sun starts to join us here. Cloud cover. That summertime haze that comes in from the fog from the Pacific is gone now. It's all sunshine the rest of the day. Kevin Gann is the head coach of this Sorcerer team. And it's a special team. Kevin, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We have loved watching Karime Karatachea in the circle. Can you just describe her as her coach? Because the guts that she shows and who she is has got to be inspirational. You're calling pitches, too.
Yeah, I'm calling pitches right now. But Kareem, this kid's phenomenal. I mean, she works harder than any kid I've ever coached in the last 15 years. I mean, she works every single day, every day. But the kid's she's just a grinder. I mean, I can't say enough about her.
And tell me a little bit about this team in this week and what it's taken for you to get to this point and what's been the most fun.
The most fun has been just grinding every day. We've had about 3 close games, 2 walk-offs in the bottom of the 7th, and the pitching's just been phenomenal. The pitching and defense has been phenomenal. They've kept us in every game this week.
What are you calling for, Coach? There's no monitor in that other dugout.
No, I need a curveball here.
There we go. That's a good one.
Yeah, want to make sure she hit her spot first.
Yeah, it's energetic. Well, listen, your athletes are having a good time. Glitter all over you right now. It's become a popular thing. Thanks for taking a moment with us, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Kevin Gann joining us.
Thank you.
Yep, he's telling them. You guys all, it's become a tradition. I think how original, I think glitter moves up the ladder of near success. That's, the cup stacking's kind of tired. I'm gonna just go with that. I like the glitter though.
Because glitter stays. Glitter doesn't go anywhere after it's on. So that's there probably for life.
Yeah, I think that's more the look that glitter, you know, when you add it to your softball, let's say, appearance, I think that's the look that you're supposed to see. I'm down with Kevin's look, though. It doesn't strike me as a glitter guy right out of the gate, but I think it works really well. Here it comes. Look at that. Just magical. Look how magical it is. Oh, Coach Gann. Makes me just want to go ride at Disneyland. That's beautiful. Time for her to go back to work. Heller dropped down a beautiful bunt. And an even better play. I tell you, it's a great bunt. It moves the runner to scoring position, but I can't move past what Elisa did coming in, pouncing, Garcia covering the bag.
I was thinking bunt, and then it was showed late, and it almost looked like the ball was going to go foul, but coming in so quickly and releasing it so quickly. If that's not a perfectly fielded and thrown ball, that out's not made.
Yeah, there's the magic of Coach Gann right there. Just sprinkle some of that glitter. I think feels better. What a great play. Bailey Amezcua takes a strike. He's been at it, by the way, Kevin, for a long time. He said, never coached a player like my pitcher out there. The runner to third. Her grip betrayed her that time, a wild pitch. Not a whole lot that Pamplona could do.
Yeah, looks like that little off-speed pitch just catches the front of the plate, and sometimes you get that high, wild hop.
You're exactly right, because she was in perfect position just to use that chest protector. RBI chance now for Bailey. 2-1 the count. Bailey from Greenwood, Missouri, East Summit West High School. Hits it hard toward left field, charging, tagging, coming on home. That's an RBI. Beautiful swing, well struck. It is an out, but an out with purpose. 1-1.
This ball was struck so well. It looked like it was going to fall, but then right into the glove of Matas in left field. She grabs it, gets rid of it quickly, but that ball's deep enough. Even if it's on line, that's a run scored.
Now batting, first baseman, number 9, Kelsey Hockstrop.
When you have a softball hit that hard, too, I think your immediate reaction as the runner is to think to yourself, well, I'll freeze, see it through, but that's looking like a base hit as hard as that's hit. So to get back and tag becomes a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it was really smart base running.
Just not much time.
Yes, kid.
She did a great job. I kind of underestimated how well she read that. She took one step and froze.
Well, that ball was hit so hard, she didn't have a lot of time to lead off.
No, she didn't. Kelsey flied to center field back in the second inning. Select fast pitch with the white jerseys. And those white jerseys on the move. Hoekstra streaks right through the ball. Bavasa took a shot in and out. For Kelsey, it's a single. Pretty left-handed swing on display.
I love looking at a nice left-handed swing. Goes down to get this pitch, drops the barrel, and stays third in the right field.
Swing like that in front of all these college coaches. A player still deciding where she wants to play softball. Kendall Yarnell gets a screwball in, and it pops loose. It just kind of boxed by Pamplona behind the plate. That's a pass ball.
Pitch was close to being a strike also.
I know it's kind of a traditional rule in both diamond sports that if it's not caught, it's not a strike. And I don't know that I understand that, but because a strike is a strike, whether it's caught or not. Going back 2 pitches, obviously. Split the play with a change of pace there. Again, starting to go on and off the gas with velocity, trying to get that mojo back, Karatachea, that she had to open the game.
Yeah, that's really what was keeping these hitters off balance, but now they're through that second time through the lineup, select fast pitch. They're making great adjustments at the plate.
Started with a walk, and again, the little things we talk about, you've got a double steal that goes awry to swipe a run. That's how the Sorcerer scored. Here it's a walk, sack, bunt, sack, fly. Kevin Gann sees his team tied up. I got a feeling this game's got some dramatics yet to come. Picking it up in shallow right field and turning it into an out is Bavasa. It's magical when you get the invite to PGF. And then when you're playing in the championship game, it's just Wonderland, isn't it? Mike Byrne on the coaching staff for that team out of the heart of the Midwest, select fast pitch. Mike spends time with us now. Congratulations, Coach, on what your athletes have accomplished through what is a very busy and tough week of softball.
Oh, yeah, very tough week of softball. It's a grind to get through it. You know, the jet lag to get the practice games in and then find your rhythm and timing to get yourself established during bracket play and early. You know, the blind draw it's tough. You know, you never know who you're going to open up with, and you got to be able to bring it from day one, and it is a grind.
It's been 13 years I've been lucky enough to call these games, and what I've learned every year is this is no longer, this is old news, it's no longer a California event. How proud are you guys to represent your part of the world out here?
Oh, it's awesome. This is back-to-back years for our organization. Last year, our 18U played in the Premier Division Championship against Rockies Bolts, and we're back here again. It's awesome to represent the Midwest.
And Coach, the first time through the lineup was clean for the other team, but you guys are making adjustments at the plate. What are you seeing from your athletes as they go through their second time through the lineup?
Well, she's spinning us, she's pitching us tough, and she's allowing us to get ourselves out, which she's pitching well. We've made small adjustments moving up in the box to try and take away some of the spin and try and attack her before the ball has great movement.
This event hasn't taken your heart, it's taken your voice though, Coach. It's worn you out, hasn't it?
Coaching the 18s and spending that time there, it'll work you over as well.
Hey, listen, best of luck. It's an honor to see your athletes play. We've enjoyed it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, PGF. Another great year, great event. I appreciate you having us on.
Mike Byrne, part of the coaching staff for Select Fastpitch. Coach Salazar, the head coach. And a 1-1 beautiful game. Coach McCoy on that staff as well. And I think part of the story, and I loved your question about second time through the order, the other part of the story is it has coincided with Hardenberger feeling like she's starting to lock it down.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. She's throwing harder, mixing that changeup well. So she's really locked in.
Aiden Hardenberger has got 5 strikeouts. That one's hit hard, but foul. Why don't we play a little strikeout pitch package? Take a peek.
It was fun being introduced to her changeup early in the ball game. A couple of looking strikeouts on that pitch, just freezing the hitters. But then she mixes both sides of the plate. She goes out with that screwball a number of times, but hits her corners so well, changes eye level. She works quickly in the circle with a lot of power and change of speeds.
Screwball, that's just looked right on by. Hardenberger battled through injuries. Along with her team, it limited their roster to about 11 most of the year. And she said, this was huge, not only for me, but for our team. Our confidence, all of us, is riding high with the amount of trust we've shown one another. Boy, that turns out to be a really big at-bat by Pamplona. Everything looks good to her.
Now batting, third baseman, number 4.
Riley Banks now.
Banks.
Looks like we'll have a runner. Courtesy runner. Aubrey Gann. Aubrey Gann
Courtesy runner for
spotted
the catcher
first.
at first base, number 11, Aubrey Gann.
Hardenberger played high school volleyball, this talented pitcher. Grew her athleticisms in different ways, she said. Different kind of competition as that one misses low. It's funny, she's still figuring out where she's going to go this 2025. She'll have some great conversations coming up. This talented pitcher, but she says, I'm a huge Kansas State fan, born and raised. It's been my team for life. I would go there if they had a softball team.
That's tough.
Wicked. That screwball right up under the knuckles with a swing and a miss from Banks. Name of Princess, that's what her mates call her. And very Disney themed, I guess you could say. 1-1 the count. 2-1 as, again, just trying to stretch the limits of the zone. This pitcher also the class president, the softball representative for the student athlete board, and a peer counselor. Doesn't have to do any of that today. She's dialed in, pitching only. 3-1 the count.
Now Banks had that nice double into center field, left center field, her last at bat. So right now Hardenberger not trying to give her anything she can get her barrel on.
3-2 the count. Up, 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 and then finally turned one over on the inside corner. Let's see what she throws here, 3-2. How about that runner at first, too? Maybe the wheels in motion. Let's watch. Ball 4. Moves up without even having to take off. So that roll, we had said she had settled in. She's gone off that road now, though. A little bumpy again. We may see some changes, it looks like. We've got some movement around the diamond. Let's see. Hoekstra headed into the dugout. We may have Hoekstra coming into the circle. Let's see if, in fact, Hardenberger is removed from this contest. Looks like a lot of maneuvering. Borovac starting to toss pretty quickly. Meantime, on the other side, an offensive meeting. The Sorcerer's Gann. Just this inning. Otherwise, it's been a ton of strength. And 14 pitches, you saw the total a moment ago. That was nothing more than just allowing Hardenberger to catch her breath. Maybe Borovac start throwing in the pen.
Yeah, and Hardenberger's throwing some good pitches. This inning has just been that ball to strike ratio. It's a little lopsided.
JC Vellante tries to drop a bunt down. Vellante struck out looking back in the second inning. Squares that one up toward left center field. Great range out there in center field, and a fine play by Janelle Lang. Boy, she covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of hitting, and when you see the ball go up, you could see the track Lang was taking, and she had a beat on it from the beginning, got a really nice first jump.
Maya Garcia.
And if that thing gets by, it's going to clear the bases.
From Stockton, California, Maya Garcia. Singled and stole a base back in the second inning. Cranked up that double steal. Riley Banks came in front of her and scored. Really good speed, can drop down a bunt. They're anticipating that. 0-2 the count. Back-to-back beauties as far as pitches go. Maya's played softball for as long as she can remember. Ground ball, kicks free into center field. The Sorcerers will add another run. Trail runner slides in safely with a great reaction. It's 2-1 Sorcerers. Maya, more two-out magic.
Maya reaches for this ball, just trying to put it in play, and gets it past a diving Heller at shortstop. That's a two-strike swing that goes in her favor.
Now batting, first baseman, number 44, Alicia
Cool, calm, and collected swing. She saw that same spot away where she was worked. Got comfortable there. That changeup is strike one. Didn't really have to move her feet with anything in. So she figured, hey, if she's going to get me, she's going to get me away. Galley popped out back in the second inning to the shortstop. Tries to break this one open with a ground ball to third. And despite a bit of a slip by Yarnell, she comes right back to her feet, and that turns out to be a big out, stranding a couple of runners. Maya Garcia, the heartbeat of the Sorcerers, the speed, the contact. 2-1. Celebrating the sport at the 16U age group, the Premier Championship here at Premier Girls Fastpitch.
Salazar, McCoy.
This has been such a historic event dating all the way back to 2010, the very first year of the PGF Championship. And that was the 18U age group, the 16U age group. OC Batbusters Myers winning the first ever as it slips through those fingers, and 1-0 the count. First ever 16U Premier Championship game, OC Batbusters defeat the Corona Angels 6-4. That was 2010. Firecrackers won it the next year, beating Texas Glory. Team Mizuno Stith beating the Corona Angels. Way back when, 2010. This event has gotten better and better. All those teams I'm mentioning are California-based teams.
Yeah, it's been really fun to just be out throughout the tournament, seeing the different games being played and the areas represented. The talent really is spread wide across the country everywhere now. It's no longer as dense in California as it used to be. It's everywhere.
Washington grounded out to short, first time up. Hits it hard, tries to slip it into center field, unable to make the play. Jasmine Roberts fielded very cleanly. Maybe there's a play. Either way, she's on.
Now this is a well-hit ball. It's hit hard. It looks like it's heading to center field, so that would have been a really nice grab. And I do think if it would have been fielded cleanly, she would have had a shot at getting the runner at first. But it was a great job of keeping it in the infield.
Alyssa McCoy squares around a bunt, drops down a pretty one. Boy, taking a chance. No play there. The throw is wild, takes out the first base coach. Runners on first, second, move to second and third. There really wasn't a play at second base. They took a chance anyway.
Yeah, I could see why you would think there would be a play because the bunt has some good pace on it. But Washington had a really great jump off of first. As soon as she saw it down, she was heading to second, so there really wasn't a chance to get that lead runner. And then the rush to try to get that out at first base advances both runners.
Well, there's some hazardous situations in softball when you're coaching. You gotta look out. So a change is made there. Karatachea gives way. And Jalen Lee is the new pitcher. Everyone's okay though. With a couple of runners on, boy, right back. It's just a simple single, then a bunt. Doesn't take a lot.
Just doesn't get a very good grip on that throw. Rushes it. You really got to hand it to Select Fastpitch for answering back when runs are being scored. Sorcerer goes up. A couple of innings later, Select answers back. Sorcerer answers back. Now Select right back in it.
Now batting, left fielder, number 2,
Jalen Lee from Oakdale, California. Takes the softball, steps into the circle. Oakdale High School of 2025. The first foe is Gabby Salazar with runners on second and third, infield very tight. She hits it right through that, drawn in infield. That'll play to run, that'll tie it up. Gabby Salazar gets it done. 2-2. Still nobody out.
First pitch swing and turns on this down and in. Finds the hole.
Now batting.
Celebrating how she runs down to first base because she's tied up that score.
Janelle Lang, who's played such a solid center field, made a great play last inning. An aggressive swing, 0-1 the count on Janelle. Lee just trying to establish her footing in the circle, see if she can get her team back in the dugout with nobody out. I think realistically you're thinking, I may give up one more, but that's it. Let's get 3 outs. If we give up one, we give up one. And pitches like that will help 0-2. Jalen, the daughter of Jeff and Lena. Talented pitchers, play volleyball and soccer, along with excelling at softball. Nice job behind the plate by Pamplona.
Yes, Lane. Come on, kid. Come on, girl.
Lee's battled back. A pretty severe broken ankle surgery. We'll have her out there pitching in a championship game, a celebration.
Still in another first and third situation. It'll be interesting to see if Select tries to create a little chaos running.
Very shallow center field, almost to the infield dirt. Trying to create a rundown. It gets interesting. Here we go. Pamplona continues to take a look. Right back to first. Easing back goes Salazar. Well handled by Mia. Well, she edged a little closer to the runner, a little closer, kept taking a look. Finally, it made no sense for Salazar. Give her first. Big first out in the inning. Audrey Youngblood has walked and scored and also flied to center field.
Number 7, Audrey Youngblood.
Monroe City, Missouri. He takes a pitch that is in. Would love to go to Missouri or Iowa this 2025. September 1st, hoping she hears back from some of those schools. She's been filling their inboxes, she says. Just got a piece of it. Only plays at first, and it's made by Jalen Lee. Well, suddenly a very big second out, and that run we talked about hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, this is a big time recovery here to knock that ball down, turn around and throw a quick strike to get that out.
Now batting, shortstop, number 21, Marin Heller.
Marin Heller from West Des Moines, Iowa. Would love to go to Florida State and play. Heller pops that one up, back behind the circle. Boy, really came into her kitchen that time. She got out of it. You thought at least one more would score. But Jalen Lee, an outstanding job working behind Karime Karatachea. All sorts of big RBIs, though. Gabby Salazar. Oh, yes. We love this sport. If you're making this road trip, traveling in from California, from Northern California, you may as well have a good time. Plus, it was an 8:30 first pitch.
Number 6,
Crank that energy up. Kaylee Washington is the new first baseman. She'll step in and take over there. Olivia Modis, the number 9 hole hitter, popped to the shortstop for the Sorcerer. She takes high, 1-0 the count. Well, Credit for Jalen Lee. It looked like it could have been a big ominous inning with 2, 3, 4 runs scoring. That's not what happened at all, so we're tied at 2. Bottom half of the 5th. Turning it into a 2+ inning game.
Yeah, if you're Select, you're a little bummed that you weren't able to capitalize more on those, having those base runners on, but at the same time, you got to be happy that your team is striking back, putting good swings on good pitches. And right back in this ball game.
Screwball misses outside. Hardenberger has had 1 clean inning. It was the 3rd. It was a pop-up to short. Matas, who is hitting now, was part of that. Then back-to-back strikeouts. She did face the minimum back in the 1st inning after a miscue. There was a caught stealing as well. Last inning, a couple of walks. She doesn't want to start off that way again. That's what came back to bite her. She's got Olivia engaged. Sorcerers in those sharp, deep blue uniforms. Blue and blue with the white belts, the white tops for Select Fastpitch. Out of Kansas City. Sorcerers out of Northern California, the Central Valley actually, as that one sails high. 3-2 the count. Ball very effective. That'll do it. And 1 out here. Defense, swinging and missing is nice, but you gotta have your strong arms and strong legs behind you.
Yeah, having a couple of throwouts in the 1st inning, 1 by each team, and then coming across the diamond, making nice plays. What we thought was going to be a bunt for a base hit turns into a fantastic defensive play. Range in the outfield. And then, of course, those pitchers holding it down in a circle.
Pee-wee Olivia Holtz is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Played softball since she was 7 years old, been anticipating the moment of being recruited her whole life for as long as she's known about it. She said any recognition on September 1st to win any college would show that my hard work has paid off. I hope that for her.
And along those same lines, you also have to acknowledge that there are going to be a number of athletes hoping that same thing, and they won't get a call on September 1st, and that's fine.
Yes.
Because, you know, everybody's journey is going to be different, and we put so much emphasis on that day, and you hear those athletes getting calls at 12:01 on September 1st, and those calls just lined up, but that's just not the reality for every athlete. It can't be. So for those of you who don't get that phone call,
A couple of legendary coaches there.
speaking of some that are going to be making those phone calls.
Coach Weekly, Coach Evans. And Weekly, head coach at Tennessee. 2-2 the count. Honor roll student every semester in high school. Cumulative GPA of 3.8. And a change-up that she put right back to the circle. And because it was misplayed by Peyton, she is on. Not at all an emphatic swing. As a matter of fact, she was fooled badly. But then, in the end, the contact fooled Hardenberger.
Yeah, and this ball stayed really low to the dirt, and you wonder too if it might have taken a little funny hop out there where the stride leg hits the dirt and kind of creates a little bit of a lump.
Madison Babasa is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. She's taking a bunt with her. Beautiful punt by Madison. Good clean, got out of the box.
A little bit of a stumble by Yarnell over at third. So close on that play. Great hustle down the line.
Now batting, shortstop, number 3, Jazz Marie Roberts.
Jazz Marie Roberts now reached on an error and also grounded out to short. 0-1 the count. Trouble for Hardenberger. The strikeout has been a weapon she certainly can count on. She's got 6 of them as she pitches here. The bottom half of the 5th inning. Jazz Marie right up on top of that plate as we talked about. Slaps that one foul just to protect. The daughter of Joel and Jessica. Younger sibling of JoJo and Joel. And the older sister to Jordan, who's 10 years old. Sister JoJo plays at San Diego USD, 19 years old. Right in the hand, steps on the bag for one. Across, a double play. Yarnell given another chance. So hanging over the plate, and you could see Hardenberger said, I'm still coming in. Because of that, didn't get the good extension. The defenders stepping into the spotlight when it matters most. Amanda Freed and Darren Sutton and you in beautiful Orange County, California, the 16U Premier Division National Championship game. What an incredible week it has been, and it's getting late as we move into the final couple of innings in a 2-2 deadlock. Select fast pitch out of Kansas City, Kansas. Deadlocked at 2 with the Sorcerers. Central Valley in California. 0-1 the count. The southpaw Jalen Lee came on for Karime Karatachea. And if anything, providing a different look. That one down off the end of the bat. It's in there for a base hit. Esqua. He lined out, lined out hard in the 4th inning. Didn't hit that one hard, but maybe that's poetic justice.
You know, when you put a good swing on the bat the way that she did her last at-bat, it really moves those outfielders back, and that opened up all that grass area for the soft line drive that ends up being the base hit.
Swiss Army knife, we saw Borovac warming up in the pen in case she was needed earlier. Now she'll run. Very important to this select fast pitch team. Kelsey Hoekstra singled. Also flied out to center field. 2-2 our score. On the ground looking for 2. There's 1 on to first. Not in time. Really nice turn by Roberts.
Now, not where you want to hit it with the runner on first. Your priority is to move that runner over. And that is a very close call.
Now batting, third baseman.
Looks like she got a great job calling that one with the naked eye. There is a challenge available if you want to use it. It's not spent there. If you win your challenge, you'll get 1 more. Obviously, then you've played your hand. If not, we might see it at that point. Let's see at this angle. She's there, isn't she, Amanda?
That was a good call. That was really close.
And there you are now, base hit left field. Oakstra moves up after legging out that fielder's choice. Runners on first and second.
Now batting.
In the top half of inning number 6.
Number 17, Kaylee Washington.
Now Kaylee Washington gets the call. Single run scored, also grounded out to short. The Kansas commit. Heading into her senior year at Santa Fe Trail High School. Rolls that one foul. That's in Topeka, Kansas, by the way. Some interesting questions I'm sure she can ask her mom, Cindy, who played college basketball, played at Cloud Community College. Younger sister, Kenna, plays competitive basketball, is on that path to probably play college basketball as well.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch. We've seen some hard turning base hits and then just a nice easy spot on the outside corner.
Goes down, shoots it to the right side, recovered in time. Get up down to a knee, Maya Garcia. The recovery was key, though. It was really the only play she was about to make, and she made it. It's on second and third.
Batting, second baseman.
But a big
Number
second.
99, McCoy.
I love how hard Select is out of the box. You know, just trying to get down that line and creating quick rush plays for the defense.
McCoy, fielder's choice, also popped up to the shortstop. Play all week long. Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, great park in Irvine, beautiful facilities, but you want to play just once more in the stadium. Then you have these opportunities late in the game, a chance to change your team really forever. Popped up to the right side. Instead, if you're Jalen Lee, you help your team stay on path. And the grits, the guts that it takes at this point. Just want to play on that dirt just one time, play for all of it. It's getting late. Wonderful seat up on the berm.
The Sorcerer Gann.
Shade will be needed.
Number 18,
Those that are waiting on the next game too excited. Heck, already mid-morning nap. No one turns those down. All right, here we go. Bottom half of the 6th inning, 16U Premier Division Championship game. Mia Pamplona, who has walked and scored and struck out. Done such a great job. We've seen her work behind the plate. And a key cog for the Sorcerers today. Can she start this inning off as a base runner? 0-2 the count.
Whenever time Mia's up there and takes a swing, you just feel like something good's about to happen. She's got so much power. She's aggressive at the plate.
One and two the count, skipping a changeup in there. Team from Georgia won it all last year. The Beverly Bandits from the south side of Chicago finished second. The Birmingham Bolts third. LTG Henderson fourth. Tied in that 3 spot specifically. Teams from all over the country at the 16U Premier age group. 1-2, we'll do it again.
Hardenberger still going with some tight spin up in the zone. That's what she's been getting a lot of pop-ups with, a lot of swing and misses.
That's right down below that one, 2-2 the count.
You still got to be aware of that changeup, because you know Hardenberger will throw that at any point.
You're exactly right. You just got in the box. You were thinking along with.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like in the last couple of innings that changeup hasn't been in the spot that Hardenberger would like it to be, and I think that's what's led to some of the action that the Sorcerers have been able to produce.
That would look good to Mia Jean as she fouls it right back to the screen. That was a great shot of the breathing exercise right there on the right. Big inhale, then exhale with their eyes closed. Now both eyes on the circle. The 3-2. One more time. Century's worth of pitches. And what a game it's been for Hardenberger. She's been here the entire time. Wow. Pamplona could not be baited.
That was a really great at-bat. When you get to this point in the ball game, bottom of the 6th inning, you know 1 run and all your team has to do is hold for 3 outs. You want to go up there, especially if you have the power that Pamplona does. You want to end it in 1 pitch. You want to put that run on the board with 1 swing of the bat, which makes that at-bat so amazingly effective because she was patient and just got herself on base.
Yeah, talking it through. That's a catcher that watched very closely, sharing with her teammates the current state of Hardenberger. Aubrey Gann is running it first out of French Camp, California. Would love to go to Boise State someday. That's Aubrey's dream school. Aubrey's on the move because a pretty bunt was laid down. We've got a collision in the infield, and everybody's safe. Banks pushed it right up that first base line. But there was action as Hardenberger came out of the circle. Washington came in too.
This is great placement. You want to bunt the ball back to the pitcher because it creates a little bit of chaos in front of the circle. 2 converging corners trying to go after that ball. It's way easier for the third baseman to sweep across and grab that. But when you want to make the play as quick as possible, sometimes collisions happen.
Another one. Yarnell's on top of this one. And it's foul. A moment ago, Yarnell, I think I said the first base side. It was Yarnell that came in from the third base side. And she and Hardenberger, just an unfortunate collision. I think there was 1 out to be had, though. It was definitely to be had at first. And now for the Sorcerers. Nothing better than the pressure inning in the bottom of the 6th. Two strikes as she fouls that one off. Seeing if they can exploit the defense. I mean, the true goal is to move those runners up. Let's see what we do with 2 strikes on the batter, Volante. Struck out and flied out. Trying to get a strikeout. 1-2 the count.
You can really sense that Sorcerer is playing for that 1 run. So trying to use that short game, get the ball in the dirt, move runners over.
Inside corner, strike 3. Screwball in a beautiful clutch pitch. Oh, that's money right there.
And Volante's up on the line, so she's looking outside. She's looking to protect the changeup. She's trying to protect and lay off the rise ball, and that screwball just slips right in perfectly on the corner.
This has been the dangerous damage hitter. It's been bunting, it's been contact, it's been 2 hits, a stolen base, and an RBI. What a game from Maya Garcia. And she's punching again. Tries to take it with her, but pops it up foul. She's somewhat fearless, isn't she? I mean, it's just an approach for her. Here we go. Called upon to do something special in the game, and let's see if she can do it for a third time.
And this is the type of hitter that can do everything. You mentioned you have to squeeze in on the corners and protect from that bunt, but she'll stand in and swing away for power. That was a tough pitch.
And a screwball, and you want it if you're Hardenberger, but there's not a whole lot a hitter does with this one. Tough pill to swallow late in the game. So she goes right back out there, but elevates. There's chum in the water, and you could tell that shark was going to go.
You know, after you get a call like the pitch before, you start second guessing your zone a little bit, and I think it was just Garcia got into protection mode, tried to foul it away, and that pitch had too much movement.
Elisa Galley.
Elisa Galley now. Everything looking good up there suddenly. Back-to-back strikeouts. Look, Hardenberger will tell you, I was involved in that collision. And whatever the role I played or Yarnell played, all helped clean it up. Really pitching with intent. Down off the end of the bat, fly into shallow left field. It's down! To the plate! The Sorcerers grab the lead into second base standing. It's a 3-2 lead. Elisa Galley, a perfectly placed fly ball to left center field, puts the Sorcerer squad on top. Wow.
This looked like it could have been a fly ball caught, but instead drops right down in left field. And with 2 outs, the runners are off on contact.
She felt like she had made the pitch. It wasn't hit hard, and maybe it is the height and the strength and the leverage that you see as an outfielder where, as that swing comes through, you're anticipating it coming to you a little bit more. Instead, she was almost punished for making too good of a pitch, if you follow me there.
Yeah,
because that was ugly contact.
Yeah, and those are the pitches as a pitcher you get frustrated with because you execute the pitch, you get a miss hit. In your eyes, it was not hit that hard, but it just finds the shallow part of the outfield, and that's really frustrating, especially in situations where obviously it leads to a run.
A big opportunity.
Number 29,
Alana Hernandez gets the call off the bench. From Ripon, California, Ripon High School. Would love to go to USD. That one is high. Her first at bat in this game. The daughter of Nicole and Jesse. 4.0 student in the classroom. What a wonderful chance for her to add on for her team. I don't know how you feel, but in either diamond sport, there's nothing more fun as the home team than that pressure, not the final inning where you walk it off, but you score, then you put the heat on the other team.
Yeah.
That's a fun way to win a game.
Yep, I agree, and that's why I felt like that first base runner was so important, because to get that one on and just feel like, God, you got 3 outs left to get, that's the fun side to be on.
The drama is the walk-off. That creates the magic, but you kind of take the heart out of that other team if you do score a run or two, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, we got 3 outs and you're done. Sorcerer magic. Fights it off. It's in there off the bench. 1, maybe 2 RBIs. You betcha. Down into safe at second base. How about Alana Hernandez? Watching this entire game, her number is called. She delivers a pair of RBIs.
It wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it did its job. Just over the reach of Heller that scores 2 runs. I challenge this play. It looks like we might have, there goes the hands to the ears. So we're gonna have a challenge on the tag at second base.
Trying to end this inning. You're exactly right. Take it out where you can get it. Our umpiring team will get together. 1 challenge per game. If the challenge successful, the team holds on to that for a second. So the umpires confer. They will challenge. We'll get our technology, put it to work right away. Either way, all those 5 runs are on the scoreboard. You just end the inning and maybe end what is the rally.
Yeah, 1 run going into the 7th inning that feels okay. That feels like your team's still in it. 5 runs, like now you've got some work to do. And I think for Select, they'd like to get out of this inning as quickly as possible. This is a nice throw down. It looks like the tag is there, or it has to be irrefutable.
Looks like she got in there, to me. Looks like she got in there. Did you see it differently?
I thought the tag was there.
Okay.
But I don't know if they're going to see it as enough to overturn that call.
The replay room has been busy. They've taken another look. The call is upheld. How much fun for her. Got a great speech from her coach as she walked to the plate.
Back to the top of the
Her whole
order.
dugout
Center fielder.
cheering in unison for Alana.
Olivia Holtz.
And then she delivers. I see what you're saying, Freed. I think I saw the foot hit the bag and the tag come down at that point, but line drive now turns out to be a big review because another run will score it. 6-2, Sorcerer. Olivia Holtz.
Great piece of hitting, driving this ball to left center field, adding another run. And we're going to see a pitching change.
That's the hardest hit ball of the inning right there. Right, we've had fly balls with eyes and sinking line drives over infielder's head. That was just a screamer. What a great shot that is. And an opportunity for Keely Washington, who was playing at first. Hardenberger was so good, and then in this inning, a walk. Single again, not hard hit. Another single from Galley, a fly ball that I think she thought might end the inning. Sometimes you have a little luck on your side, though. And then once you have it, that kind of sparkle luck on your side, what do you do with it? Can you add on?
The hitting's contagious. And you just felt like Sorcerers were pushing all game long, so they weren't getting the results that they've gotten this inning, but they were knocking on the door every inning. Then finally were able to bust it open.
Now pitching for Select Fastpitch, Salazar McCoy. Number 17, Kaylee Washington.
Just a spectator and a cheerleader for her team.
For Sorcerer again. Right fielder, number 9.
Yeah, you know, it's frustrating when you do as well as Hardenberger's done all week long. You want to finish strong. She threw a fantastic ball game.
It was hard with words to describe the look of determination she had the whole entire game from the moment she started at 8:30 until now. Madison Babasa is 0 for 2, and then she picked up that single in the 5th inning. Into left field, foul ball. You think about Sorcerer teams that have made a difference, changed their program back in 2018. Sorcerer team was a finalist at the 14U age group.
A lot of singing going on in the dugout.
Washington ends the inning. Some work to do. Work is the appropriate word because for select fast pitch, they want to see if they can dig that ace out of a hole. But timely hit after timely hit. Galley, Morris, Holtz, all pitching in 6-2. Three outs away from a title. Jaime Karatachea and Jalen Lee have combined in the circle to take their team to this place. And Lee looking to nudge them across the finish line.
Left fielder, number 2, Gabby Salazar.
Create a memory for this program that will last for generations for sure. Strong alumni base. The Sorcerer program, names like Ali Acevedo, Bree Perez, Danielle Williams at Northwestern, Sab Watley at Oregon State, Nicole May, Grace Green, a couple of years ago, all Women's College World Series participants. So they've got a lot to be proud of. Hundreds of commits, more than 200. Oh, what a curveball, huh?
That was a tough one. 2-0, you're thinking strike, but not that kind of strike.
Looked like it needed a blinker to make this turn.
Like it's in the zone perfectly, and then right turn.
Good take, low and away. Comeback starts with just one base runner.
Yeah, you know, make it interesting. Make them sweat. If you're select fast pitch, you just need base runners. Nobody's going to end this in one swing of the bat. You need to get yourself on and pass the bat.
Grand slam away from tying it, so you just need base runners. 3 and 2, I was about to say, but I would be wrong. That's ball 4. Called a little bit low that time.
.50-50. I like the pitch. And Pamplona is just, she wants that called. She's working hard for Lee.
Taylor Borovac has a bat in her hand. She has ran a couple of times today, has spun the softball in the bullpen. This is a great opportunity for Taylor to make a memory in a championship game. Tate is her mate's callers out of Blue Springs, Missouri. This middle infielder is at Blue Springs South High School, and she is a Maryland commit, the University of Maryland. Casey and Pete, her parents. Parents both played diamond sports. Dad played minor league baseball as well, Pete. Aggressive swing, but fouls it off. And I know she's got a good sense of humor because I said, hey, share your academic accomplishments. Ask all the athletes that. any community volunteering efforts. And she said, and I quote, "I've passed all my classes. My mom and dad are proud." And you have a good sense of humor. We know you've done more than that. That's the understatement if you're going to Maryland and they found a spot for you with what you've accomplished in the classroom.
Absolutely.
Rolls that one foul. And base runner after base runner is what they seek. Tate had to battle back from labrum surgery, shoulder surgery. Still battling back from that to where she's trying to find 100% health. She rolls that one foul. I asked her if I took softball away, what are you doing the rest of your life? She said, I would 100% go fishing with my dad every day.
Wow.
Me and him always try to make it a competition, but it's one of my favorite pastimes, and I get to share it with my dad.
That's cool.
1-2 the count. Line drive. She can also hit this Maryland commit. Single in the center field. That's got to feel good. She's kind of been everything to her team where needed as a fill-in.
Which is such a huge accomplishment when you're coming off of an injury, just trying to find your role and do anything you can. But what she has found is her ability to be consistent at the plate. She's still trying to figure out that throw, but being able to come into the end of the ball game after pinch running a couple of times and come through big like that is huge.
Well, you never know. One more base runner. Here's Audrey Youngblood. Walked and scored in the 4th inning. Top half of the 7th inning. Kansas Bay select Fastpitch. 1-0 the count. He has surrendered a walk and a single to start this final frame. Playing this right-handed hitter the other way. There's a lot of room in left center field.
Here we go.
Screwball misses outside. 2-1 the count. Seeking another historic moment. This Sorcerer softball program. 2 decades ago, Laura Ferreira, the first ever commit to come from their program. Not too far from home when she committed to Fresno State. 21 years later, they're looking to put a very special trophy on the trophy case at home. Big pitch, 2-2.
Yeah, it was a huge pitch. Just paints the corner inside, trying to get Youngblood to pull it to the left side, hoping to get that lead out at third.
She goes right back in there. Let's watch Pamplona. 2-2 the count. She does, and it is on the ground, as you said, but it's bobbled, and everybody's safe. Took a tough hop for Roberts, and she couldn't recover.
Well, select Fastpitch making it interesting. That's all they wanted to do coming into this inning was go down swinging. And that's what they're doing. Loading the bases, no outs. They're in this ball game.
Marin Heller popped out to the shortstop, grounded out, and also had a pretty sack bunt. Got a bunch of swings at it now. We said it's one base runner at a time. Now it's one run at a time. Let's see if Heller can break through. Walk, single, error, and it's starting to feel like there's some bubble up. Bases full, as you can see. Let's watch Jalen Lee respond now for the Sorcerers. What an 0 the count. This some movement beyond that third base dugout in the bullpen. Take a look at Karatache again, and that's exactly what's going on. She started this. She'd be a completely different look.
I'm sure she would love nothing more to get back out there and finish this ball game. Threw fantastic in the beginning, gave way to Lee, and it's nice to know as a coach that you have that option to go back.
Well, that's a great shot, isn't it? Living through your athlete down on the field. 1-2 the count.
It's more stressful to be a parent in the stands than on the field. I'm sure the parent has no control over it. You just want the best for your kids, and all you can do is sit there and watch and try not to stress out.
Good take. Just in and off the plate. Bases remain full. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Nobody out. Select fast pitch, down 4. Final frame. On a hop out to second. There's one on to first. Running time, a run scores. Garcia fed Roberts. Roberts did all she could to try to turn it.
And Garcia just absolutely sat on that ball, hit well, but she was not going to let it get by her. Gets that out at second base, not able to turn it, but good job of eliminating one of the base runners.
Catcher, number 25, Bailey Amescua.
Bailey Amescua. Lined hard to left field, then also picked up a single. Bailey to the right side, charging, making that play. May played another run. It did! Mabasa with a gun from right field, and it's time to celebrate for the Sorcerers. They are the 2023 16U Premier Division PGF National Champs. Wow, what a assist, the final out of the year.
I mean, that was a rocket shot line drive, but that throw right on the money. Pinpoint accuracy to end the game. Nice catch, nice tag. What a way to end this ball game. Sorcerer strong from the first inning through the finish. What a play to end on.
That review was spent. You can't take another look. What a great play. Well, a celebration, and the best seat in the house was held down by Mia Pamplona. Mia, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So you had an amazing seat for a lot of moments today, but give us your perspective on this final play as Madison fired it to you.
This fire play, we've been working at it at practice always, like she's been throwing it. That throw was great, and just getting that tag down feels amazing for PGF Nationals.
For PGF Nationals, are you kidding me? I mean, to do that in practice, but be able to execute in the game, that is something else.
Yes.
Your pitchers were amazing. The battery was fantastic. Talk to me about your relationship with your pitching staff and how proud you are for what they were able to do for your team today.
Our pitchers this whole week, they've been amazing. They've always been pitching great. They've been executing every batter they have to do, and they've been doing the job well. My relationship, I'm really close with both of them, all three of them actually. And I'm so glad that they did great PGF Nationals.
I think we waste our words sometimes when we call tears of joy,
Yes,
but that's
tears
what you
of joy.
have. I mean, that's really what you have. Tell me how you feel. Just let some feelings out. How does it feel right now?
It feels incredible because we've been working this whole season for this moment right here. With this team, I have a great relationship with this whole team, and it just feels so like incredible. So like, so like.
Oh, I understand.
Sorry.
Do me a favor. Turn to the right. Invite them into the shot with you. Tell them
Come
to come
guys,
stand with you.
come
Tell them to
in.
come see you.
Come on, let's go.
Tell them to come see you. Mia, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. What a moment. 6-3 in the final, and that's how it ends. Let's get on out of here. This is a tough act to follow, but we're not going anywhere all day long. The best players in the country gather here. The All-American game at the high school level, the Futures game, the 18U championship game as well. Go ahead and say hello to the ESPN family of networks to enjoy all of those. Our entire production team, and of course the leadership, the Hay family with PGF. What a joy to work with. And then these athletes and their families. John Walsh, the leader in our production truck. Amanda Freed, what an amazing color analyst. And my name is Darren Sutton. Every time we sit in this chair at this event for more than a decade now, we thought we'd never see something new until we did. And we enjoyed every moment of it. We'll see you soon at the ballpark. The champs.